salutations, all you friends and family, fans and followers of the Zita Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us for episode 65 of The Revolution. I am your host with the most from the east to the west coast, like peanut butter on your breakfast toast, Emperor Zita. Coming to you, as always, from my favorite place in the world, the Fortress of Solitude, here in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. So, one quick thing this week before we get to the show. I've been reading the Game of Thrones books and they are fantastic. HBO did a great job of translating them to the screen. Now, it is a bit different in the books, but still, fantastic translation. Now, on the other hand, I've also been watching Under the Dome, a very loose translation of Stephen King's novel, Under the Dome, which is a terrible translation. It is completely different right from the get-go. I am not very happy with it. Not really enjoying the show too much either. Just goes to show you that HBO can do a better job than all the major networks out there. Anyways, that is enough from me. Let's get on with the show. Rock and roll, baby! And here we go.
Anthony's officially 6 months old, a whole half a year. We were at the doctor's. He is a whopping 22 pounds and 29 inches long. According to the doctor, he is the equivalency, height, and weight of a 1-year-old. He's going to be a big boy. Although on the other side, when he got his needle, didn't even register. I thought it was going to be a screamer, but nothing. Not a single piece. And now he's on solids. And he's gone through carrots and green beans and started bananas, and they stink. They stink really bad. Like father, like son. He's always blowing raspberries. Nothing's changed from that. It's just more frequent. And just constant drooling. I hope he gets his teeth soon. I really, really do. I think it's close. He's laughing, he's smiling. It's depending on what you're doing with him. He likes bouncing, and he likes when you go, "Hey, you!" He's smiling and laughing a lot more. He loves to play and he stares at you. He's constantly trying to take your food. And he likes popsicles. And that's it.
Put my hand in between her thighs. Night wasn't getting any younger. It was a sober thought. So have another drink and give me all you got. Let me go. They come and rock your world. Let me go. They make me shimmer and shake. Standing in the midnight rain. I got my head on tight for the shade. Let me go. Come on, take me home tonight. Take it.
Doesn't even let go of the bottle while he's sleeping. Randy Orton is the Money in the Bank winner for the WWE title, which nobody saw coming. And Damien Sandow, surprisingly, is the winner for the Money in the Bank briefcase for the World Heavyweight title, which I'm really excited about. So Raw this week wasn't horrible, it had some good points. SmackDown sucked again. We now have two new GMs. We have Brad Maddox as the GM of Raw. Vicky Guerrero is back as the GM of SmackDown. So no more Booker T unless he's on commentary again. And Teddy Long got kicked out of the building. How awesome is the Wyatt family though? They are fantastic. fantastic, creepy as hell. The Shield is starting to get old and boring. I think they need a few more members.
It's Clover time.
But the best angle on Raw this week was, yep, you guessed it, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Seeing Paul Heyman finally perfectly turn on CM Punk at Money in the Bank, I called it to happen. And then on Monday, he tore him down, tore right into him with a classic, perfect Paul Heyman heel promo. And then out came the Beast, who dummied Punk all the way around the ring, no matter how hard Punk fought back. I am excited about this dude. This is the best thing that could happen to the WWE.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
We had the announcement that Daniel Bryan would be taking on John Cena for the title at SummerSlam. We all know this is only happening because of the Total Divas show, because both of them are banging a Bella. So it'll be cool to see the Bellas working against each other to see whose boyfriend wins out in the end. I think Daniel Bryan is going to bring the best match ever out of Cena. And it's really kind of funny that it's Daniel Bryan and John Cena, considering that John Cena was the reason that Daniel Bryan got fired from WWE the first time. Daniel Bryan can't have a bad match. I don't think it's ever possible. But we all know the outcome of the match. Daniel Bryan will probably take John Cena for the title, just so Randy Orton can cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
You can be me.
So Dolph Ziggler finally dumped that useless piece of trash AJ. It looks like they're going to build a budding romance between Big E and AJ Lee. Maybe that means that Dolph Ziggler is going to get with Caitlyn. I just hope Dolph Ziggler forms his own face faction now that he can truly be the show-off. I'm really not looking forward to a Big E Langston Dolph Ziggler feud. Although I would like to see Dolph Ziggler team up with Zack Ryder. Speaking of Zack Ryder, not a single appearance by him this week on Raw or SmackDown in any kind of capacity that had to do with wrestling. I don't even think he got on Superstars this week. I don't know why WWE just hasn't released him already. Not that I want to see Zack Ryder go, but anything's got to be better than sitting at home and doing nothing, or getting called to Raw just so we can sit in catering and eat.
I am serious, bro!
And yeah, we did sort of see him on Raw, standing beside the Brooklyn Brawler when John Cena was going to announce who his #1 contender was going to be. I was really kind of hoping that it would be Zack Ryder. But come on, we all knew it wasn't, because WWE will never, ever give Zack Ryder a decent push again. Time for him to make some impact.
Bye. Hello! Going on this rally!
Did you go put him under?
It's so hard. But my sleep's almost done, Papa. And that's why I'm not when I lost the movie. I don't see those berries. Bunny and walking. He's in the grass. There's in trouble in here. Superman and Supergirl have to go save them. I'm the king of the grass, so here to do the rascal. Being running like one cat. There's been mushrooms and white mushrooms. Princess! I hear the tuba. It's crazy. The footprints should be right here. Give me this much roll into a ball. So it's nice and smooth. And then nice and smooth. Have it. Look at the wonderful. I'm having fun with it.
Hello people, it's Comic Book Day, and we're headed down to Excalibur. It is the hottest day of the year so far. It feels like it's 40 degrees out here. I think the bottom of my shoes are melting. It's the only time you will ever see me in shorts, and we're all dressed up nice and light today. We have the little monkey with us in the stroller. We have Empress Magz on the camera.
And it's Catherine bringing her buffalo.
So where are we going, Catherine?
Well, the secret and walk.
That's right, we're going to go see the expert and the prophet down at Excalibur Comics, find out what they have to say. So we will... See you soon, people. So we made it down here to Excalibur Comics. We didn't melt on the way here, so we're headed upstairs. Gonna find out what Rob and Fred have to say today. And Paul is even here this week. So we'll see you guys upstairs, and hopefully Big Mike's here too. This is Excalibur Comics, 3030 Bloor Street West, upstairs above the Kingsway Theater. Yeah, they come here once a month now.
What I want to start off with is my favorite book of all time, the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. I love this book. Sarcasm, sarcasm. Why? Because it always is with dealers is that if they don't think the price is good enough, they'll say they don't believe in the book. But if the price is lower, then they'll say, well, stick to the guide. Before, I used to remember there was a big event when the price guide would come out. Now, not so much because the dealers seem to want to set their own prices. This is part of our history, unfortunately. And then the comic books you could afford before, you can't now because thanks to these morons and their book, All New X-Men. Good old Michael Bendis has taken over a couple of the X titles, and Stuart Immonen, a fellow Canadian working in Toronto, has done a very good job on this series. Pick it up for the writing and the art, both are a great combination. The Avengers, this is a prelude to Infinity, the major series which we're going to have them head to toe with Thanos. This is going to lead into the big battle. Mr. Hickman has always written some very nice stories in this book. And speaking of group comic books, because I should be doing that, Justice League of America, the Trinity War that's coming in. And again, another well-drawn book. And as long as Jeff Johns on the storyline, it's going to be worthwhile picking up. There's more. Again, it's one of Marvel's few $2.99 books. That's Fantastic Four. It used to be called the greatest comic book, Marvel's greatest comic book. It's not anymore, but it's still a fun book, and I would recommend that you pick this up. Okay. Another one is the Thunderbolt book. It's a new Thunderbolts, and again, well drawn and well written. That's basically it.
A lot of people say Nazi party in Germany during World War II lost the war and just were eliminated. However, what happened after the war was that they just destroyed their army. Most of the main people during Nuremberg trials were put in jail. Maybe only 7 to 10 were actually hanged. The other thousands were released 5 years after the Nuremberg trials. So not only that, through Operation Paperclip, a lot of the Nazi scientists who were pro-Nazi were brought into America, and a lot of these guys ran the NASA space program. The American scientists were complaining, why is the Nazis running NASA? And if you realize in the 60s, NASA took almost 90% of all the income taxes. The rest that did not end up in NASA ended up in Area 51. The vast majority of the other professors or scientists became professors at the university and so forth. Even the American professors said, wait a minute, we're getting paid more than these Nazi professors that we brought in from Germany. Yet they got bigger houses and driving better cars. Why? How is that possible, right? So through Operation Paperclip, a lot of the Nazi science came into America. And one of the biggest supporters of Hitler, in fact, he funneled hundreds of millions to Hitler during the war, and after the Americans joined the war as well, Prescott Bush. Prescott Bush ran the Union Bank, which was closed down by the FBI when they found out he was giving Hitler, before and during after the Americans joined, millions of dollars in funds. They closed him down, he took his money out of the bank, and he bought oil wells. And lo and behold, later on, his son becomes the President of America. And as well as his grandson, Bush Jr. You have a Nazi family become the ruler of the United States, main players of America that were pro-Nazi. You look at Exxon or Standard Oil. They also facilitated the Nazi, the Air Force, by giving them the jet fuel. You also look at Ford and GM. They also built tanks, Panther tanks, that killed British and American troops. And whenever the British would go over in bombing raids, they weren't allowed to bomb the Ford or the GM plants in Germany because they belonged to America. IBM also was a main player because they quickened the pace of scheduling trains and so forth, and assigning, I guess, the prisoners, the Jewish prisoners, to the concentration camps. Normally it would take 2 to 3, 4 weeks to get prisoners to where they're supposed to go using the old method, but the IBM computerization, they were able to do things in 2 days. So it became very, very efficient. In fact, the IBM owner became the second highest decorated person in Germany by Hitler. So you see the Nazis alive and well.
Well, that's it. It's over. It's done. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Zita Nation. Thank you for joining us for another episode here of The Revolution, and come back again next week for a brand new episode right here on YouTube. Go back and check out all of my other episodes right here on YouTube, and don't forget, subscribe to my channel, Emperor Zita, right here on YouTube. Pick up your Drop Dead Pinups Electric Night CD, check them out on iTunes, and follow them on Twitter at Drop Dead Pinups. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Emperor Zita. Head down to Excalibur Comics for all of your comic book related needs, and you're welcome.